All right, welcome everyone to the Phoenix Report. I'm Jack Connor. Happy Thanksgiving. If you're listening to this, I'm sure it's Thanksgiving is come and gone already, and since it's that time of year, we present you with WWE's annual Thanksgiving tradition, the Survivor Series. And, since it's become sort of a new tradition in WWE, we'll also give our analysis of NXT Takeover Toronto, which was also that same weekend. As we record this, it is Tuesday, November 22nd, 2016, and as always, I have my esteemed panel of supermarks, I mean wrestling fans, here with me. Of course, we have my partner in crime, Cory W. from Chronocord.
Yo.
We have the president of the John Laurinaitis fan club, the ultimate keyboard warrior, Brian Connolly.
Hey, how you doing? This is Mr. John Laurinaitis. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. Johnny's here too. That's awesome. I'm glad he's here.
Thanks, John. Thanks for stopping by. All right. See you later, buddy.
Excellent. All right. Well, anyways, we have a newcomer to our wrestling shows, and that is he is the CEO of Generation Food Trucks, Generation Entertainment. He's a businessman, entrepreneur, and former frontman of a couple different local bands in the Tampa Bay area, so similar kindred spirit to myself. Please welcome to the Phoenix Report, Mr. Jeremy Gomez.
Buenos dias.
Gracias, senor.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So
that was the extent of my Spanish.
Oh, that's okay. It's mine too, so it works out.
Bienvenido, Phoenix Report.
Thank you.
Sí.
Me llamo.
From now on, I'm no longer Jack. I am Joaquin.
Joaquin. Got it.
All right.
I am Sancho.
You're Dirty Sanchez. I don't know what you are, but...
No, I am Sancho. Orgasmo fan?
Yeah, no, I got it.
Moving on.
Yeah, yes. Moving on. Let's get right into it. NXT Takeover Toronto. I'm sure many of us being hardcore fans, we probably enjoyed that a little bit more than Survivor Series, as we tend to do with NXT.
Ooh, yeah.
Overall, that's probably a good bet. Let's start with the opening match. We had Bobby Roode going against Ty Dillinger.
Glorious.
One word. Yes.
Glorious. The absolute.
Yeah, no,
awesomeness.
Fantastic. Okay. Jeremy, what did you think of this match overall? In terms of the presentation, just everything. Do you think there was a good way to open the show? Oh, wait a minute. What's happening
This
right
is number one.
I know what that is.
This is always a good way to open any show.
Wow.
And on top of all that,
Did we just get Glorious bombed? That's amazing.
You did.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Rick.
I'm not as good as Johnny, but Anyway, dude, number one, Bobby Roode's awesome. Number two, I absolutely love Ty Dillinger. I love his stick this time. Welcome back to WWE. So, yeah, it was awesome, dude. That was one of my favorite matches of the night. I was looking forward to it.
Was Ty Dillinger in WWE before?
Yes,
before his run with NXT? I don't.
He was in ECW. He was part of the Superstar Initiative call-ups.
Really?
He got beat by EC3 in his second match. He got squashed by EC3 his second match, or Bateman. He got squashed by Finley his third match. I think his first match he got squashed by Super Crazy, and and they released him after that.
Okay, he wrestled under the name Gavin Spears, I'm seeing.
Something like that.
You don't remember the time ECW's general manager was Armando Alejandro Estrada?
I do.
So the most forgettable year of pro wrestling ever, 2008-ish.
Well, when I think Extreme Championship Wrestling, I think Armando Estrada. I mean, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah, of course.
Probably more important than Paulie Dangerously.
Dick Dudley and Armando Estrada.
I mean, did anybody else work there, really? I mean, come on.
Joel Gertner comes to mind.
Well, I mean, he is the human stud muffin, or whatever the hell they called him.
Doesn't Cena have anything to say about Joel Gertner?
I mean, does anybody?
No, I'll pass on that one.
Nice. But yeah, no, it's kind of cool. I mean, the 10 thing is like super over right now.
I love that skit.
I
love it. The next day, it was still going. It was awesome.
Yeah, like almost to the point of nausea, like where it's getting in other people's matches. It's like, all right, yeah, we get it. You love Ty Dillinger.
Yeah, it's become the new what, unfortunately, the 10 thing. It's already gotten on my nerves, and it's like 48 hours old.
Right,
Because they did it on Raw, and they're doing it on SmackDown. Like, all right, Canada, get it out of your system.
I mean, it's like practically in their national anthem. It's like, oh, Canada. You know?
Both of those guys are Canadian, I believe.
Oh yeah. Both of them are like from the Toronto area, so
yeah,
they were both. So I mean, yeah, no, they were both from the Toronto area, so they were both like over huge with the crowd, to the point of, I mean, I couldn't tell who was the babyface and who was the heel. Brian, what were your thoughts on the match?
Oh, I agree with the point you just made there, where I'm pretty sure I'm rooting for Bobby Roode, but I'm not clear who the babyface or heel is. But no, it was a really good opener for sure, and it being in Toronto had a lot to do with, I'm sure, both of their overness with the crowd.
Definitely. I mean, to that point, I mean, I think they definitely booked Dillinger as being the babyface because Rude turned on him and all this other stuff, and he's acting like cocky heel and all that.
Right.
Cory
loves him, I guess. Anyway, but he's going to be one of those guys that's hard to. He'll be like a tweener.
Yeah.
Like, so,
yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to boo a guy with that catchy of an entrance theme. Yeah. People love it.
Come on. Yeah, everybody sings along to it. It's perfect.
Yeah, Cory, how did you feel about this match, and how did you feel about Rude going over clean?
I thought it was a good match, as you guys stated. Good hometown reaction for both guys. I was a big fan of the glorious Tabernacle Choir on the entrance.
That was fun.
Yeah, I thought that was good. Good match, good hot opener. Both these guys are solid in the ring. At this point, as we mentioned, Dillinger's kind of a veteran, so he's going to be one of those guys that really needs to shine. And who better than with Bobby Roode? That guy is a ring general and one of the hottest acts in NXT right now.
Definitely. I mean, I hope they don't wait too long to call Bobby Roode up because, let's be honest, he's not a spring chicken anymore in the business. He's definitely got money written all over him for sure, and that's no pun intended. But
for your money, sorry about your damn luck.
Right. But yeah, no. I mean, I think he would definitely fit in on the main roster for sure. And I mean, Dillinger, I think, is still kind of figuring out, his character, or at least, I mean, I'm trying to still figure out his character, and but I mean, he's the perfect 10. Yeah, but
he's trying to figure out an escape plan.
Say what?
Oh,
Ty Dillinger's trying to figure out an escape plan. That's just that's just for me.
Escape plan.
Dillinger escape plan is a
okay, yeah, Dillinger escape plan.
They're fantastic.
Gotcha. Yes. All right. Well, anyways,
taking it off the rails, baby.
Yeah, that's your thing. That's what you do. I know.
I'm not like most girls.
You're not. You are certainly not like most girls.
I'm dressed exactly like Nia Jax right now.
With the shirt on and everything?
Are you saying Nia Jax is your spirit animal, Brian?
I've never seen the two of us in the same room. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure who that's more offensive to.
Everyone.
Yeah, pretty much. So we go on to the final of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Wow. Not even.
That wasn't me. That was not me.
Not even waiting for the intro.
Poor TM.
Yeah. So I mean, we had Authors of Pain. They went over TM61. You had Paul Ellering dangling above a cage. Above the ring. I know that was a thing that they used to do back in the day in like NWA, where they'd have like Jimmy Cornette or somebody.
No, I figured it out. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it was.
And the cage had nothing to do. When you see the commercial for the toys, like they're like launching dudes into it, knocking it down. This just had Paul Ellering why can't they just ban him from ringside? They had to hang him above the rings.
Yeah, no, I mean it's kind of fun to look at and everything, but it doesn't really make sense when you think about it.
Extremely pointless to me, but they could have found a better use for it.
I mean, I guess he slipped him the chain at the end, and they kind of got over on that, but
because they needed that.
Yeah, they need to cheat, those huge, giant guys.
Tokan Razor from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or whatever.
Right? Like,
Tokan
God, where are these guys even from? They're from like I think they're from like
You just remind me of the.
Are they Croatian? I'm trying to think. There's some kind of Eastern European.
Yeah, but then they have them coming from somewhere in Minnesota or something like that. I was like, okay.
I don't like how close their name is to the Powers of Pain. That makes me mad. Yes. It may as well be Warlord and Barbarian.
I don't like anything about them.
I mean, the one guy's named Oakham. I guess that's close to Akeem, right? The African Dream.
They really didn't
Akeem, baby.
They should have won the Sapphire Memorial Tournament, not the Dusty Rhodes.
Gotcha. Well, they ended up going over. Jeremy, what were your thoughts on just the match and how everything played out?
Man, after the scaffolding spot, I mean, that was the match should have been over. I think that was the worst match of the night. That match was so bad it should have been on Sunday. That's how bad it should have been.
Really? I mean, what about it didn't quite work for you? Was it like a stipulation or just
the Authors of Pain don't work for me? They're horrible.
I second that emotion.
I just think they look too big to be in NXT. Number one, they're massive. And they don't wrestle very well, and they're real stiff, and they're always. I mean, I know you're supposed to turn to the camera, but I mean, they spend 90% of the match trying to find the camera. It's just I don't like anything about it, man. They're just bad. They're just bad.
Gotcha. Just kind of the way they work and just the whole presentation. I see that.
I just don't think they're ready to be pushed yet. I mean, granted, I'm not a wrestler, so they're better than me.
Yeah, I mean, criticize. I mean, they're big guys. They look like they could definitely kick some ass for sure. Let's see, Cory, did you feel the same way about these guys, or I mean, what did you think overall?
I mean, I think it's definitely classic NWA booking from the Paul Ellering suspended above the ring and he drops the weapon. All that stuff. It makes sense, but it kind of sticks out as cliche. And with all the fast-paced action of NXT and what everybody expects, it's going to be kind of hard to get these guys over as just the typical Road Warriors, mold. So, I would have put over TMDK or TM61. Those guys are money, but, it is what it is. I thought it was a pretty good match, all things considered. I thought it was a good mesh of styles between the power and the high-flying stuff.
Gotcha. No, it's funny talking about the Authors of Pain. I immediately thought of like the Ascension, how they were they had such a huge run in NXT, but they got up to the main roster and just did nothing.
It's exactly where the Authors of Pain are headed, right where the Ascension are.
Right.
Not very high up.
Gotcha. Brian, what do you think about TM61?
I'm not crazy about the name. I'll give you that. Right off the bat.
I mean, Cory, maybe you can answer this. I don't know if you know these guys better than. I mean, I know they've been on the indie circuit for a long time and wrestled all over the world. Do you know what TM61 means? I'm not sure what that name means.
I don't know about the TM61, but
it's
before
like a trademark or
it's their last names.
It's their last names, and it's
and the call code from Australia.
Yeah.
6-1.
Okay.
Thorne and Miller. Okay.
However, though, before that, in New Japan, their team name was TMDK, which stood
Mighty
for
Don't Kneel.
Correct, the Mighty Don't Kneel.
I have heard that. I think they're also. This was according to Wikipedia. Said they're both 6'1". That's kind of hard to believe.
That seems unlikely, but
that's Wikipedia for you.
Sure.
Also said that
I think they're money.
I mean, yeah, it's possible. They look like they're about the same height, so I mean, okay, I'll buy that.
I don't know. I'm not crazy about the name. That's just the only criticism.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, they're great in the ring. They wrestle kind of that hybrid style. I like the spot that Shane Thorne kind of did off the scaffold, and I know Jeremy, I know you weren't too crazy about that whole deal.
No. After that, I mean, I thought that was the high point of the match.
Okay. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
What's not to like about that high spot, man? That's cool shit.
Yeah, no, it was really cool to see those guys kind of like do some exciting stuff in the ring. I mean, they kind of have a little bit of a generic look to them. You know, but at the same time, like part of it, I mean, at the same time you see them, I mean, they're obviously, good-looking guys, not overly huge, but they kind of remind me of like the Von Erich brothers a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, am I the only one who sees that, or
one of them, the
Which
big
brother?
guy?
Which brothers does it remind you of?
Yes. Well, probably like maybe Kevin, maybe Carrie.
Kevin
and
Lacey.
Terry. I know. Lacey.
Kevin and Lacey.
Everything reminds me of Lacey Von Erich, but
Well, I mean, as it should,
that's because I got to pat her down once as a referee. I'm trying to
wow,
keep my own horn, but
Oh, good for you. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Brian is also a former FCW referee. I should have mentioned that in the intro, but he's just, I mean, it's just one of your many life accomplishments.
I give it a good 4 to 6 week run.
Yeah, well, hey, that's longer than any of us had.
Happy to announce.
Good old FCW.
Yeah, man. Before NXT, FCW, where a lot of guys are still on the roster. Kofi, Sheamus, Dolph, the Bella Twins. So they're still kicking.
Yeah, they sure are. But yeah, so Authors of Pain ended up going over. They won the Tag Team Classic. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you had Dustin come out along with Triple H, for the presentation of it and everything, which was cool. It's just
Ken miss Cody.
I was just gonna say that it's so weird not to have Cody and Brandy there in the company. I mean, obviously
he's working
we all know
TNA for Vince. Calm down.
I mean, it's also kind of weird to deny Cody the right to use the Rhodes name.
Oh, come on, it's a work.
You think so?
I don't know.
The whole fucking thing's a work. TNA's been dead for so long. It's a work, dude.
Do you think that's like Vince secretly owns TNA
Bro,
right now?
I really do, dude. Because so many of the old guys that are specifically teachers of the younger guys go to TNA, and then the young guys get hired by WWE to come into NXT. It's either that or Hunter is like purposely trying to buy the TNA roster so he can show up everybody and use the same roster and do an actual good show.
Well, they are both in Orlando, so they're like direct competition now, NXT and TNA. So I've noticed that Triple H has scooped up all their major guys from like.
I wouldn't call it even competition.
They just go back and forth.
I mean, the latter seems a little bit more likely. I doubt that Vince secretly owns TNA. I'm sure if he did, someone would know about it.
Considering WWE is a publicly traded company, I don't think they could make a move like that on the books necessarily, but that's not saying that somebody couldn't go and scoop it up as a private deal.
Yeah.
I think they have some kind of like talent exchange program like WWE and ECW used to have.
Well, I think WWE definitely has that with Evolve right now, which is an indie promotion.
Yeah, they get way too easy access to all their top guys and shit, and to scoop them up, send them to NXT. Which,
I mean, I don't even know if it's that. I think it's just these guys have just been done with TNA, and obviously they want to go to WWE because it's the biggest place in the world to work.
Kind of hard to work for NXT or for TNA whenever the checks bounce. I mean,
right? I mean, it's
I mean, dude, even Mickey's back. I mean, she got straight up buried, and she's back.
Paz and the Dudleys were on the ECW show last night. Those were big TNA guys for a while.
Right, and the Dudleys aren't even in the company anymore, but at least not on the roster.
Devon's in the back.
Oh, is he an agent now, or?
Yes, he is.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Hired to become an agent.
Oh.
And Bubba's at home playing house with Angelina Love.
That's okay. Good for him.
Or wait, no.
No, is the other one.
Velvet Sky.
Velvet Sky,
the other one.
Yeah, it shows you how generic and they all look like in TNA.
The one with the less jacked up face.
Yes.
I know. Was she one of the beautiful people with Lacey Von Erich? We bring it back around to Lacey Von Erich again.
And here we go.
Oh, wait. And now what's the next match?
Yeah, no. First of all, we've already gotten off track already. That's amazing. Well done, Connolly. There he is.
Can we see Goldberg versus AOP now? That'd be awesome. Goldberg versus AOP.
I mean, honestly, we might at the rate things are going, but we'll get into that later.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So next we had DIY finally going over the Revival, winning the tag team championships, 2-3 falls match. Yeah, I mean that was a long match for sure. But But
It was sick.
it was definitely the darlings of the IWC for sure. Cory, what did you think of this the whole deal? It seemed like a classically booked match.
I thought it was a fantastic indication of where these two teams are at. Crowd was red hot for it. Ciampa and Gargano have definitely been ready for it. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the Revival, though. I know Triple H is pretty high on those guys, so it wouldn't surprise me to see them brought up to the main roster. But then again, maybe they stick around. Was a little bit long of a match, like you said, but I thought it deserved that amount of time, and it lived up to the expectations. I loved it.
Absolutely. And, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Revival get a call-up between now and WrestleMania, maybe. Maybe it might not be that long, but I don't know. Brian, what did you think about this one? I mean, it's obviously a classically booked match. Definitely, both teams definitely have that traditional look and, kind of way about them. What did you think?
As far as like outcomes and finishes go, this was my favorite match of the night because like the guys who I wanted to win won, put on a good match. They had, gave them more than enough time. But no, I think you're right. I think this is probably the last or one of the last one or two matches we'll see of the Revival before they get called up. It feels like it's time. I'm not sure which show though.
Yeah, it's tough to say.
I don't know where they belong. Maybe SmackDown.
Maybe. I like the fact that Gargano and Ciampa actually have a name for their team now. It's DIY. I know they didn't always in the beginning. It was just Joey
I like that name.
Tommaso.
Do it yourself. That's a cool philosophy.
Gotcha.
So
I don't know about the hashtag, but
they dropped it.
Are they? Is it just DIY?
It's just DIY now.
Thank God.
A week. It was horrible.
Gotcha.
No hashtags in your team names, please. That's horrendous.
Yeah, it's like then when it turns on Twitter, do you use like double hashtags then? Like that just It's kind of
too many hashtags.
It's kind of like at midnight. Yeah, I don't know. Jeremy, what did you think about this one?
Dude, I mean, what was there not to like about it? It was booked well. Both the teams are awesome. I mean, Revival's kind of watching the Andersons work together, and I don't know. It kind of reminds me of a throwback, Ollie and Arn or something against maybe Hector and Mondo. That's the kind of match I kind of saw it as. Yeah, so it was awesome. Absolutely. The ending was awesome. The crowd was going good. The crowd was with it the whole time. I mean, there was about 4 or 5 spot pins at the end. It was good. It's good. It was like the Rockers versus the Brainbusters from Saturday.
There you go. Yes. There
you go.
Good analogy.
And you gotta love the Revival, man. Those guys are, they're not flashy. Obviously, that's the way they're going. So it's a good throwback team, man. I like the way they isolate limbs. I like the way they do some slow down locks. I like that shit.
Right, and they're good on the mic too.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know who these guys are. You get a sense of I mean, I'm a big character guy. I'm definitely into the characters, but that you get a sense of who these guys are right away, and it makes sense. And they're good on the mic. Can't ask for anything more than that.
Yeah.
All right. So next we had the women's championship match, and Asuka went over the returning Mickie James, another one of Brian's many wives.
How dare you, sir?
Why is that an insult?
It's not it's just more that you're breaking kayfabe and telling everybody about it.
Oh, okay. Well,
kayfabe exists still? Oh my god.
That was a K5.
Okay. This is like super secret kind of thing. Better not tell Magnus. Anyway, so I mean, Asuka ended up going over, definitely continuing. She's just been on a tear, but it went.
Mickie James is a MILF. I had to just throw it out there.
Well, technically, you're not wrong. Yes, she does have a child.
No, that's why now, she's even hotter than she was. If they call her Piggy James or some shit, I'm gonna fucking kill someone. I was so mad. That was the last time when she was in WWE.
Yeah, that was the whole thing with Lay Cool, and I guess was that a Vince idea or?
It was getting vicious, man. They started doing the fucking roast beef chants after a while. It was bad.
Ridiculous, man. And Lita had slut and hoe yelled at her. Some of those women bailed for reasons like that. Like, the crowd was just vicious.
Yeah, and I gotta mention, there was
totally undeserved, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, yeah, true that.
I mean, again, it's like kind of one of those things that's always like blurring the line between like the character and the real life person, and
right. We don't know
WWE doesn't always do a great job of that. But getting back to the match, Jeremy, what did you think of the match? Mickey looked great, I thought.
It was good to see Mickey wrestling at her speed again. I think when she was doing wrestling with some other companies, the girls just weren't at her level. It was good getting to watch her go fast again and do her thing, and she looked good for having the kid, getting back at it. And Asuka's no slouch, man. I mean, she moves, she hits pretty damn hard. So it was a good match all around, dude. I mean, other than the AOP match, man, like every match I think was just a little better and a little better and a little better than the next one. It was good.
Yeah, no, it's a solid card.
Good speed, everything.
Yeah, Brian, do you think they're like maybe setting this up for something else, like maybe a rematch down the road, or do you think maybe this is like a one and done thing with Mickey?
No, I was actually just wondering if this is the last we'll see of her. She seemed pretty emotional afterwards. I think she's just happy to be back, but yeah. I hope it's not a one and done deal. I know they do that pretty often, but and I don't know if she belongs in NXT either. Like, maybe for a little while, but I'd like to see her back on the main roster, man, because she could still go.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's
only one match back, but they give Goldberg. Hello.
Yeah. Well, that's Again,
that's
we will get into that. Cory, where do you see this going with the Asuka Mickey James thing? Do you think that this is the last time we've seen this pairing together? What do you think?
Probably so. I was saying something earlier, and I think I got cut off. I have to mention this dude because he was such a fucking idiot. And if you go back and listen during the match, like nobody's saying anything. There's this one guy sitting in the front row with a red hat on.
I know what you're talking about.
And he's trying to start a Trish's lover chant.
Oh God!
I heard
that. That was just.
And people are just looking at him like.
We don't remember.
God!
We were watching 10 years ago.
That guy can suck it. But
I just cringed so hard when I heard that. I'm like, oh my God, you Canadian jizz bucket! Like, what are you doing?
But back to the match itself.
Hashtag Canadian jizz bucket, ladies.
Make it a thing. It's like, what? Like, you fucking nerd. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop. Just stop it.
Sometimes the fans make me. I know where to cover it with the 10 chant. They just make me fucking cringe, and I'm like, I'm glad I'm not there. Like, I'm at home just watching it, like, face palming the entire night.
Like, you dummy, stop trying to make the show about you.
This is awesome.
Not.
Like, shut up. The match just started. Like, bunch of marks. It's so marky.
It's like, the show isn't about you dummies.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch in the audience.
Wow.
To come
You're
back
giving me bad vibrations right now.
To come back and answer your question, Jack.
Oh yeah, sorry about that, Cory.
I think that match. I don't think Mickey's going to necessarily have a long run. I can see her going into the Hall of Fame though. But definitely. I definitely want to make this point, man. Asuka is probably the best worker on WWE's payroll right now.
Hell yeah, man.
Everything she does looks like friggin' death, dude. She's tough as nails. And, hey, credit to Mickey. That match was fantastic. She kept up with her. But even then, there's not any woman in WWE or NXT who is even close to Asuka's league. That chick is bad.
Not just the in-ring work too. I mean, just the subtleties, like the facial expressions, the emotion she kind of expresses. Plus, I mean, she's a big, colorful character. People dig her for sure.
The entrance is over. Yeah, she's got the masks and everybody's into that. And
that was definitely kind of cool. I mean, it was obviously they planted all those masks there, but that was fun. It was cool.
I could see people getting behind her though for the first time. A Japanese female wrestler that like connects with the crowd, and it's gonna be huge when she finally gets there. She'll be having matches with Bayley and Charlotte. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah, No, she's just dominating right now.
She is completely plowed through whatever language barrier there may have been.
Right. Well, I mean, plus, I mean, she speaks enough to get her point across, and it's all good. And the funny thing is, I heard I've heard Bailey talk about her, and supposedly she's actually a pretty nice person, backstage. So it's so that definitely helps. That works in her favor, obviously.
Good actor.
What was I gonna say, Brian? I'd love to see Mickey have another like main roster run too, but I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily see that happening. I mean,
she's a little. What did you say earlier? No spring chicken. Like Bobby Roode?
Not even that. I mean, she could still go. I mean, yeah, she is a little bit older, obviously, but it's but again, she's got money. She has a kid now. I don't think she necessarily wants to be on the road at a full-time WWE schedule.
She's still doing the country singer thing gimmick.
I want to see her wrestle Nikki.
Nikki Bella?
I want to see her wrestle Nikki.
Nikki versus Mickey.
I want to see that fight.
Mickey.
Just for the name alone?
No, I just want to see that fight, man. After being buried by Cena for so long, I want to see her come back and fight Nikki.
Wow.
Let's face it, dude. John's on his way out. John's on his way out, man, and there ain't gonna be much to protect Nikki when he's gone.
That's some inside news.
Oh, come on, man.
Hey-oh.
Yeah.
I want to see a real fight for once. Not like a real fight, but I want to see two people at each other that actually have some actual heat with each other. Those are always great matches, man.
Interesting.
Feel my heat. Feel my heat.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Drink it in.
Drink it in, man.
I don't know if I want to. So if we finally move on to the main event of NXT Takeover Toronto, the NXT Championship match. Samoa Joe wins the belt back from Shinsuke Nakamura, making Joe the first ever two-time NXT champion. Okay, interesting. Brian, what do you think about that?
It was too early to end Nakamura's reign, man. That dude was, although he's gonna get it back, but I guess that's the deal. Is they're gonna trade back and forth like Sasha and Charlotte, maybe. I don't know.
Interesting prediction. Jeremy,
do you think they're going to... It's not that I'm not a Samoa Joe fan. I'm a huge Nakamura mark.
Right. Well, I mean, also to that point, Joe also falls into that category with Bobby Roode. It's like, they better not wait too long to call him up.
Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, I smoke call up.
Yeah. That's interesting. Jeremy, do you think there will be a quick call up with one of these two, or do you think they'll try to keep this feud going for a little bit?
I think they'll probably keep Joe around for a little while in NXT because Joe's been around, kind of, I hate to say minor league, but Joe's been kind of minor league in it for a while, and I think they're just trying to get him up to speed a little more. Whereas Shinsuke is ready to go. He's wrestled huge freaking arenas, domes, and everything. And I don't think the language barrier is a big thing because he could be there for another year and there's still going to be a language barrier. So I think he's going to get a call up soon.
I mean,
he's over, man.
I really want to see him like at WrestleMania this year in Orlando. Like already, bring him out
for the Rumble.
Yeah, like a Money in the Bank ladder match, something, man. Like, give him the immediate. He deserves it.
Yeah, that could happen. That could happen. Cory, what did you think of that entrance they came in there with all the violinists? How cool was that?
That was pretty cool. I wasn't really a fan of the fact that none of them were actually playing.
Yeah, no, it definitely seemed like none of them were really mic'd. It looked like some of them. I mean, some of them, if they were faking it, they looked pretty good with it. But I mean, I doubt all those were mic'd.
Absolutely none of those were mic'd, dude. Not one. There was, we basically saw Shinsuke Nakamura, the Top of the Pops version.
Oh, interesting. Bringing it back to the BBC.
Yes.
Okay.
However, the match itself.
Awesome.
Amazing. I mean, these guys beat the bejesus out of each other. Huge Joe fan. I'm a huge Nakamura fan. I do have one little nitpick with my boy Shinsuke, though. He could have done a little bit better job of selling the leg. He kind of just shook it off at one point and then kind of forgot about it, I guess. But that's me being really nitpicky. As far as which one of these guys is going to go up, I'm in agreement with Brian. I hope it's Shinsuke Nakamura for selfish reasons so that I can see him at WrestleMania. But I see these two guys finishing out their feud, maybe even having one more match on TV, perhaps on NXT on the network. Probably see a title match there because I think we're done with takeovers for the year.
Yeah.
Are we? Yeah. No, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because they don't have anything scheduled for December.
They have a house show, or not a house show. They have that show coming up in Japan. Where's that show they have coming? China, Mexico City, or something. Anyway, they got a big fatal four-way with them.
I think they're doing a big tour of Australia pretty soon, if they haven't done that already.
It might be Australia. I just know that him and Joe and
Hi, mate.
two other guys have a big fatal four-way at one of the shows.
I mean, they'll still be doing like TV
and
stuff for the rest of the year. But I mean, in terms of like takeover, I don't think they have any takeover specials planned for the rest of the year. I think that's what we meant to say.
Yeah. And I don't see both of these guys coming up. It's going to have to be one or the other. Whoever doesn't get the call up is going to stick around and probably face a new contender like a Bobby Roode, somebody like that. And that's going to be, I mean, because if they took both those guys out of NXT right now, there would be a gaping hole left as far as star powers. So
definitely, and I think NXT has already been struggling with that a little bit. I mean, think of the amount of people who have been called up already. Enzo and Cass, Finn Balor, Bayley, Charlotte, Sasha. And granted, this all happened kind of this year, I think. So it's or at least since this past WrestleMania. So it's definitely been, not to say they've been struggling, but it's definitely hard to keep that momentum going. But the good thing is that they do have new people coming up. But again, it's hard to like compare it because that was such a huge class.
It's okay though, man. The Drifter's back.
Oh yeah. Oh well, there you go. Then
Sorry.
Well, then all our fears are null and void at this point because Elias Sampson's back.
Oh my God, future Jeff Jarrett. That's what I think of him.
Cory said gaping hole. I need to address that. No one likes a gaping hole.
Yes.
Well, that is true for many reasons.
I'm just keeping score over here. That's
they're talking like bringing Ty up. They're talking about bringing Double A up. They're talking about bringing either Joe or Nakamura up. I mean, they're talking about bringing like half the roster up.
Double A. Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson's coming back.
I'm sorry. What did I say? Double A. Pardon me. A double.
Arn Anderson's coming back. I hope Tosh is aware of this. Daniel Tosh. He's got a bone to pick with Arn Anderson.
And he'd still out wrestle most of the guys with one arm.
Damn right he would.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that Tosh
damn right he would.
That Tosh Arn Anderson feud sounds amazing, but we're not going to focus on that.
WrestleMania.
I definitely do want to hear that story for another time. But moving on to the main show, Survivor Series. I did watch a couple of the pre-show matches earlier today, just kind of checking them out, and there was the cruiserweight 6-man tag. Kind of nothing we don't already see every week on Raw at this point.
Standard cruiserweight action.
Rich Swann is money.
I agree. No, he's a
rubber band, man.
He's definitely probably the most over guy in that match. I mean, maybe T.J. Perkins. T.J. Perkins is up there, but Swann is just so charismatic.
I think Swann is like a cruiserweight Junkyard Dog right now.
Yes.
With super over though. Like Junkyard Dog was so popular. That's not a bad thing.
He does the leg wobble and everything, man.
But if Junkyard Dog could do like 450 splashes and shit, that would be Rich Swann.
Yes.
Nice. I would love to see that, by the way.
Standing 450 splashes.
You and me both. You and me both.
Well, I mean, you have the Mac from Lucha Underground. He's kind of the closest thing to that. But, Arya Daivari, by the way, I'm wondering why they don't bring in Sean Daivari.
Brother. He needs them. They need to be together. Why not?
I mean, why not? I mean, if you're looking to pad out the division,
Yeah, the other Daivari was a pretty good worker.
I'm not liking Daivari right now.
Yeah, this Daivari.
Yeah, he's starting to do the Muhammad Hassan skit, and it's not cool that we had to lose Muhammad Hassan, and now Daivari's going to do the same skit, and it's okay now.
Oh, and he's Daivari.
Are we talking about Sean or Arya?
Arya.
Oh, okay.
Undertaker's back, so we know what's going to happen.
Oh, Jesus. Here come the masked men.
Hell. Powerbomb straight to hell, Daivari. See you later.
Yep. You're gone.
Wow. Well, there you go. Then they had Kane and Luke Harper, kind of, another standard match, typical SmackDown thing. Good warm-up match.
Yeah.
Luke is the best.
Luke Harper rules.
Luke Harper, I'm getting the feeling Luke Harper's like the same size as Kane. They like putting them in the same ring together. I could see him being around for like 20 years, like Kane is. Luke Harper. If he just like does whatever the fuck they tell him to, like Kane, you're gonna be a dentist.
His old stick was amazing.
Luke Harper could be around forever. Like he's that perfect like Kane size that they need.
And who knows? I mean, maybe if he sticks around that long, he can finally afford some laundry detergent.
I mean, one can only hope he can, maybe afford a second, shirt to wear. It was, both guys are really good. I mean, I agree with you 100% about Harper. I mean, if he's able to take care of his body, there's no reason he can't have a good long career.
He's been around for a while already, so I think he's going to be good.
Yeah, the other dude though keeps getting injured. Eric Rowan.
So is that his deal right now? Is he injured?
Yeah,
or?
He's injured again for like the third time, and like.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I noticed he wasn't around. I do like the fact that Survivor Series has done more like these elimination matches. Just because that's the whole deal about Survivor Series. I like because remember in years past you'd have like maybe one or two on the match just to like.
Yeah, the first four had all elimination matches. It was amazing.
Yes.
Right.
Just cool. It was just different. It didn't mean anything. Everyone's like, "What is the point? What do you win?" Like you don't always have to win something like a title shot.
The whole point of the original Survivor Series was to see Hulk and Andre in the same ring again.
That's right.
Yeah. No, and I like that they've been bringing that back a lot more in recent years. Is what I'm saying, because there was like a stretch there where like you would hardly have any of them. Then maybe you'd have one or two.
Well, it reminded me of the tag match that had 20 guys in it. Was like they did that at the first two with the tag teams, and the tag teams on those first 87, 88 are ridiculous, man. Yeah. Like all of them are Hall of Fame teams.
I'm pretty sure they had a 10 women's tag on that one of those events too.
87.
Did they really? I was going to ask about that because I mean I thought it was a lot having like 20 guys in the ring and all that, but I mean I guess if they have done that before then yeah I don't see why not. But yeah we opened with the with the women's match, the women's elimination match, Team Raw, pretty good overall. I was trying to think who's the survivor of that? Was it Charlotte and Bayley?
Bayley,
that's right.
And then Charlotte attacks Bayley.
Yeah, no. After the match, I mean, I thought it was pretty good, the story they tried to tell. Jeremy, anything stand out about that in that match for you?
I thought I missed something because I could swear Nikki was supposed to be in the match and she wasn't.
Exactly, man. The captain.
Yes, she got attacked. She got attacked, quote unquote, by somebody backstage. Before the match, which I think the whole reasoning of that was, if you watch Talking Smack last week, in that brawl on SmackDown between the two teams, Nikki got a chipped tooth. So I'm thinking that maybe she couldn't really get back in the ring that quickly because she'd just get her chipped tooth chipped again, maybe.
Wow. You think that was it? That's definitly interesting. I was curious about what the real story was behind that.
She chipped a nail, actually, is what I heard.
Oh, well, I mean, in that case, I mean,
I'm just kidding. I thought it was Rikishi that attacked her backstage. I think he ran her over.
That was Nia. That wasn't Rikishi.
Yeah,
she did it for The Rock, dude.
Right, just like Survivor Series 99.
It's The Rock in his suit from that movie he was in, man. It's not even a real woman. It's The Rock. It's dressed up.
Wow.
I'm not like most girls.
Well, I mean, Dwayne has range. He's the highest paid guy in Hollywood for a reason. He's got a range.
And the sexiest man alive. Why do I know that?
Everybody knows that.
Why do I know that?
Still. Why do you know that?
I mean, because you're a human. Because you're a human being on planet Earth.
I'm mad that information is in my brain.
Don't fight the feeling.
No. Oh, promotional consideration paid for by the phone.
All right, Lord Alfred. So what did you think about the match? Obviously, the Natalya thing, they're trying to set something up between Natalya and Nikki down the road, but yeah, overall, I think it went pretty well.
Yeah, wasn't too many botches. Everything flowed. It didn't last overly long.
And they both kind of like, and everyone kind of like stayed true to the characters too. You could tell who didn't like each other, and it made sense.
And there wasn't any really bad wrestlers in the match either. They weren't trying to shove any of the new girls down their throat that don't know how to do anything yet. It wasn't some idiot with red hair trying to wrestle. It was good.
I really like Becky Lynch, man. She's gotten really good.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean everybody I thought did really well. The Intercontinental Championship match, The Miz ended up, obviously with a screwy finish, going over Sammy. I thought it was pretty fine. I don't know about you guys. I don't think Miz gets enough credit for his work in the ring. I think he's just a natural heel.
Oh, dude,
he and awesome. Jericho have gotten better since like 10 years ago, even, and they were good then. But the Miz and Jericho are like almost having a competition right now to see who can be the best heel. And the Miz is getting over. He's got his wife with him now. He's got like a new kind of like swagger, like attitude. And
he's
feuding with Daniel Bryan
for being a heel. I would say he's probably out healing Jericho right now because people actually hate him.
Jericho's got the list and people mark.
Yeah, he might be out healing Jericho, but the list is more over than half the roster.
Yeah, just stupid idiot.
I mean, Jericho's practically a babyface at this point.
And Kevin Owens too, man. Like how can you boo those guys?
I mean, it's really tough to.
Yeah, that was pretty great last night.
But yeah, no, it's I thought it went well. I'm surprised the Spirit Squad didn't show up at some point. Apparently they're back now.
Right, and the Headbangers and the Highlanders maybe, and the Bushwhackers.
I mean, was Lowdown busy?
Yeah, Lowdown. Oh, jeez, they're not allowed in.
No,
ever.
Nor should they be, ever.
Well, he can't be in Lowdown. He's in the Headbangers. Can't do double duty, man. That's Mosh and Chaz. Why do I know that? Why do I know that again?
Well, why do any of us know that? Because we've been watching this too much.
Sorry.
But yeah, so yeah. I completely lost my train of thought again because I was thinking about Lowdown. Lowdown and Highlanders took up space in my brain.
Stop thinking about
more
Lowdown.
Than they should have.
No one's thinking about Lowdown. You're the only one.
Clearly. I mean, I
Tiger
think
Ali Singh.
Yeah,
they should bring back Tiger Ali Singh and put him with Daivari for no reason.
Wow.
Why not?
Just to be WWF at its finest in the 80s.
All right. Glad we're not getting off track here. Techno Team 2000.
What's
anyway. Yeah, no, this is, by the way, Jeremy, I know you're new here. This is typical conversation between me and Brian.
Oh, that's brutal.
Picked up on that.
Yeah, got it. We're good.
Yeah,
Cory's here, too, Cory? Is Cory here?
I am here. I'm actually still waiting for Jack to throw it to me on the women's match.
Oh my God, Cory, I'm sorry about that. The women's match, IC match, take it away.
I wasn't a fan of Nia Jax tapping out. There could have been a better way to eliminate her, keep her strong. That was the main point I had. Good match otherwise. IC title match seemed like it would be good. Sammy, had a lot of support from his hometown crowd. Match was okay. Miz, he's all right. Yes, he's improved, but I can still take it or leave it.
No, fair enough.
Hot take of the week.
No, definitely. Are you saying Cory just had a hot tag right now and came in and cleaned house?
Sure.
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, figuratively speaking. Cory, it's interesting that you bring up Nia Jax tapping out and that it could have done a better job of eliminating her. I mean, how would you have had her lose or had her be eliminated? Or would you have had her be eliminated?
Simple. You use the old Andre the Giant spot from Survivor Series. Nia comes in and just beats the crap out of 3 people with a chair and gets disqualified.
No, yeah, no, I could see that happening, or getting like inadvertently counted out or something.
Anything.
But I think Survivor Series, like, Vince is thinking no one's going to remember that she tapped out. Because that's never going to happen again. I guarantee you. Like on Raw, you're not going to see her tap out to somebody. So Survivor Series is kind of just like, let's just get rid of these people in this match, and no one's going to remember who won weeks from now, and it's their theory.
Pepperidge Farm members.
I guess it's one of those things.
He's not really wrong. He's not really wrong either, because when it doesn't really, you're not a champion. You're not walking around with like the Survivor Series title.
Right.
It's like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. It means nothing.
Yeah, I mean, people have already forgotten that like Bayley has beat Nia Jax clean in NXT. So.
Right. No, we're starting over. Once they get to Raw main roster, none of that translates or carries over.
Yeah. Absolutely. Moving on to the tag team elimination match. That's one of those things where like having all those guys in the ring could have easily turned into a giant clusterfuck, but it didn't.
Well, the first two eliminations happened so fast, I think, to make fucking room. Like,
right.
As soon as the match started, Breezango's out of there, and then New Day gets eliminated, which that's a whole other. Let's eliminate the team captains first.
Which, by the way, I think Breezango is hilarious right now. They need to have more TV time because their whole.
What's going on with them? They're the fashion police.
Yeah, the whole gimmick is just completely ridiculous, especially if you've seen them on Talking Smack. They're just, it's hilarious to watch. And I'm not just saying this just because I know Tyler Breeze's lovely wife, Ashley. Shout out Ashley if you're listening.
Marking out like I do for Laurinaitis. I'm gonna call you out.
Yeah. Well, I'm not asking her for tickets, so don't worry about it.
I don't have to ask for tickets.
I know.
And Johnny need more airtime anyways, man. They're good wrestlers. Get them on TV.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jeremy, what did you think about this one?
I was
any standouts for you?
I was happy that both people on the team were eliminated at once. I was kind of happy that the comedy team was eliminated quickly. And
sure.
That gets closer to the demolition record by not having them defend the titles, which they should have done.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they put the New Day out as early as they did.
I don't see what they needed them in the match for in the first place, so I'm kind of glad they were gone.
There's three.
I don't disagree with that. I was just saying I was just surprised that they got out as quickly as they did.
Yeah. I could do without the Usos being in the match because, man, I just don't think the Usos are ever going to be over. Ever, 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 ever. I don't know. Maybe it's their pants. But other than that, I mean, the matches were all... The match, again, it was booked solid. There was nothing legit that went wrong. There wasn't really any importance to the match, so it was good to see the guys get to do all their spots. And
I really thought American Alpha was going to win.
Yeah, I agree.
They don't care about them yet, though. They're not sold on the whole, which I don't get, that they're awesome, and they're just kind of like, whatever.
I think they're saving them for Angle, man.
Yeah.
I think they're saving them.
Maybe. Cory, what did you think about this one?
It was good. Wasn't a whole lot of really draw to this match to me. I kind of knew that, all right, New Day are keeping the belts. They're going to break Demolition's record, clearly. And here...
Bullshit. It's bullshit. Sorry.
It is.
I love Demolition.
But...
Well, the titles weren't even on the line, though, so they would have, regardless.
That's what I'm saying. I knew...
But they should be. That would be cool if they defended it against 10 teams or some shit. Like
something. Anything.
Yeah,
but
defend that shit.
How would that even work? I
don't know.
I don't even
Make
want
it
to
happen.
answer that.
But...
WCW.
This brings me to complaint time. I felt like this match was a little bit long. Survivor Series, which obviously we're going to get to it. The pacing was... Oh, your pacing. It's all wrong. So I would have rather had this thing go like 5 friggin' minutes. Just everybody brawl, people getting tossed out left and right, somebody wins.
Yeah.
I would have much rather seen both of the world championships defended on this card. I know it would have been tough to pull 2 guys out of each one of the 5-on-5 Raw versus SmackDown match, but there was a lot of garbage time on this 4-hour pay-per-view that they advertised, which, by the way, only lasted 3.5 hours. So,
Wonder why.
Yeah.
3 hours, 26 minutes.
Yep.
No, we're getting there for sure.
False advertising.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I was fine with the match. I mean, obviously, when you're having that many people in the ring, it's tough to keep track of all of it. I thought, everyone kind of got their spot in. I don't really know why Primo and Epico were there, but there they were.
idea.
So
Selling
and they make such a
timeshares.
big deal about qualifying for the team over the weeks, and then you get eliminated in 3 seconds. Well, obviously, 3 seconds is how long it takes to get pinned.
Jeremy, to your point earlier, I actually like a lot what the Usos have done. They've kind of reinvented themselves as heels. I don't think enough people really do that. When they switch from babyface to heel. I don't really give a shit about their pants.
Man, come on. It's part of the heel thing, dude. They're wearing splashy pants and crap like that. I don't know. They're not heely to me. They're not evil enough yet.
I don't care about them. There's something about I just don't care.
Right, and it's just that they're just not really getting a lot of
like
TV time to really run with it.
Yo, Oos.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Uh,
They're not scary to me. I don't know. Man. I don't know.
I like the fact they're trying. Speaking of pants, what is Mojo Rawley wearing now? What's that all about?
Zubaz. David Otunga called him the Spaz and Zubaz.
All he needs is just a fanny pack, and he's ready to go.
Yeah.
David Otunga,
you know what?
Let's
Change
talk
my
about
mind.
David Otunga has said some funny shit recently, and it's starting to make me wonder: is he actually serving a purpose on a 4-man commentary team on SmackDown?
You know what? Otunga, Rawley, you're both off the list. I've changed my mind. You guys are okay.
Otunga.
Yes.
There. Jennifer Hudson. JBL called him Jennifer Hudson.
I think that was Corey Graves who called him that.
Corey Graves called him. Yeah, made me laugh.
By the way, Corey Graves is a goddamn national treasure.
Yeah, they need to chill, man, because they're having him do the 205 Live and Raw and he's.
Oh my God, they're gonna work the boy to death.
Yeah,
Corey loves it though, man.
Don't hurt him.
A blast.
He's killing it though. Corey Graves is making wrestling watchable, as is Mauro Ranallo, and sometimes.
Mamma Mia is strong.
I want to hear JBL say "Maggle" one more time.
Hey, even Zack Ryder even looked good in this match. I mean, before he got pinned like a chump, unfortunately. But of course, I'm a little biased.
My brother, by the way, said just a little quick side note: Mojo Rawley came to see Blue Man Group last weekend, and he got to meet him.
Nice.
I pretended to be a fan because my brother texted me, "Who's Mojo Rawley?"
Yeah. Lovely.
All right, on.
It's that football player guy.
I love Mojo Rawley. So anyway, we had Kalisto. I guess went over. Kendrick got DQ'd.
Worse.
Yeah, Baron Corbin healed from his beatdown.
Yes.
Nice to see that because he was replaced by Shane McMahon on the team.
Definitely wasn't expecting that in the middle of the pay-per-view, but.
Oh.
I mean, I like pay-per-view finishes to have actual finishes, but it was fine.
Especially with so much on the line, the winner gets the cruiserweight division, man. And then it just ends in a DQ finish. No.
Yeah.
Not good.
Little anticlimactic, but what are you gonna do?
I didn't think that the Kendrick match was gonna end in any way but a DQ or something like that, so I thought it was good. But then again, I'm a Brian Kendrick mark, so.
Definitely. Corey, what did you think?
I gotta say, I thought this match was gonna end up with Kalisto taking the belt specifically for the fact that if the cruiserweights were on SmackDown on Tuesdays, they could plug 205 Live, which comes on right after. So I was kind of pleasantly surprised to see Kendrick retain. I gotta say, the finish with Corbin, okay, I get it. But wasn't Dolph Ziggler left off this card completely?
Yes.
Yeah. He was, which was super weird. Why
take out? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just
that was
nitpicky
questionable.
stuff.
It would have been Sami Zayn versus Dolph Ziggler in Toronto for the IC title. Would have been like the British Bulldog and Bret Hart, arguably, Wembley Stadium, because he's so over in Toronto.
Yes.
It would have been huge. They fucked that up by just having the Miz. Just a lot of missed opportunities.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like Ziggler should have been on like Team SmackDown on like the main deal.
Yep.
And I agree with Cory's assessment there that Tuesday night makes a lot more sense than, even though it's a 3-hour show, Raw doesn't utilize the cruiserweights the way they should, man. It's weird. It doesn't fit in. I'm not crazy. I like Kalisto taking it to SmackDown, and I still feel like they might, in the next week or two, on Raw or SmackDown or something, they might try to do it again, like another, if the winner wins the Cruiserweight title, they go to SmackDown kind of thing. Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't want to get off on a big cruiserweight diatribe here, but yeah, it seems like
I do.
I mean, I'm not.
Oh, wait.
Of course you do, but yeah,
I'm
curious how.
I don't think it's moving.
What?
I don't think it's moving. I mean, they're doing 205 Live after SmackDown. So, I mean, they already have cruiserweights on Tuesday night, so I don't think they're going to put the cruiserweights on Tuesday and then have more cruiserweights after.
Do you guys know if they're like taping that, or if they're like doing that at the arena, or
No,
like if that's going to be at
man. That's what it's called, 205 Live, right?
Live.
Okay, it's not going to be from Full Sail. It's going to be from wherever the arena is.
I guess so.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean that would kind of make sense to move them to SmackDown. I'm glad some of those guys are actually working NXT as well, just because it gives them the chance to kind of develop their characters a little bit and kind of, I think that's good for them.
They signed a lot of good guys from that tournament. There's still a lot of guys left that it didn't get, but
Jerry again.
Yeah, we've yet to see Jack Gallagher debut in any...
Oh, can't wait.
I mean, if they don't put that guy with the Vaudevillains, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I could see them doing that, but he's a cruiserweight, so.
I mean, so?
Well, they're a tag team.
I mean, and it's not like the Vaudevillains are exactly heating up the world right now.
Right. So, I mean, why not?
No, they are not. They're jobbing hard, man, the Vaudevillains. Like, them and the Ascension. They weren't even in that match at the Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They suck right now.
But for God's sake, let's put Primo and Epico there. I mean, are you kidding me?
I'm hoping they're just trying to bring back Carlito.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
God, then what's the point of them?
Right.
Exactly.
Without another part of them, they're missing something. So
I mean, Jesus, I never thought I would actually miss the Matadors gimmick, but like...
Right?
Yeah, where's El Torito, man? Bring him back. Have another WLC match.
I mean, that at least makes more sense than a bunch of guys selling timeshares. I'm like, okay.
It's so bizarre.
That's your character? All right.
Sell timeshares to come to Puerto Rico, the shining star of the Caribbean. Like, wow, sell so many tickets, man.
Here's how it probably went backstage. Vince walked in with a great idea. He's like, you know what I hate? Guys selling me timeshares. Make that a thing.
You know what I hate? Puerto Ricans.
It's an entire year setup for Carlito to come back one night and say, that's not cool.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what is cool, though.
That hotel wasn't cool.
Let's just let this sink in. James Ellsworth is more over than Primo and Epico. And the Vaudevillains. And the Ascension. And the Usos.
Why is that?
James Ellsworth is more over than about 2/3 of the roster.
He's almost more over than the list is right now.
That's where Otonka said the no chin music, I believe, which was
if they gave him the list.
By the way, called him a worm. He called him like he's a man in a worm costume.
Yeah, they're big on the animal insults with James Ellsworth. Have you guys noticed that? Like every time,
worm. His face is so wormy. He's got no chin.
I still say the best one was Michael Cole saying he looks like Tweety Bird.
Wow.
Is that marketable? Is his face on a T-shirt? Apparently, it's selling like people probably wonder who the hell is on your T-shirt. What is that?
Yeah, JBL went on this whole thing about how he's an animal and how did he get through customs, which I guarantee you that was a Vince line fed to him. I feel like Vince is like fixated. Oh, he looks like a freak. He looks like an animal. That's it. Call him a barnyard animal.
Call Lillian Garcia horseface. Fucking Triple H.
I mean, how many freaking flying goat puns did we have to deal with when Daniel Bryan was wrestling?
And then Randy Orton
3
shits
years
his bag.
What?
RKO out of nowhere.
How about that reference out of nowhere? Why would you talk about Randy Orton shitting in a bag? I mean, yeah, it's hilarious.
Randy Orton always shits in bags. Everybody knows. That's
RKO BM.
You think he's still doing that?
No, he used to shit in the King's Crown. It's just amazing to me. Like that people did that.
That's what happens whenever you stiff people on their payday down in Memphis.
That's so awesome.
Wow.
I love hearing stories of wrestlers shitting in each other's belongings. I enjoy a good shit story.
Some kind of fucked up primordial fucking revenge deal.
Yeah. Brian, we're gonna have a talk with your therapist a little bit after we get done with this podcast.
That X-Pac wants shit and Mark Henry's meatball subs from Subway.
And then after that, whenever X-Pac was dressed up in blackface, mind you, as Mark Henry,
yeah,
he came out and said, hey, smells like shit, but I think I'll eat it anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Never realized that. Wow, I just
file that under this actually happened.
It literally happened, and X-Pac is still alive today.
X-Pac
God,
in face. My God.
What a business this is. Like, why are we fans of this?
Now let's get
That
Hulk Hogan.
is why.
How dare Hulk
God.
Hogan say what he said? Meanwhile, blackface X-Pac.
That's totally fine.
I actually just learned how racist the term sapphire is. Does anybody else realize that? I'm a little late in the game.
I did not.
Sapphire is like a reference to an old-timey, like, depiction of a black person, of a black woman, like in the old Tom and Jerry cartoons.
Ooh.
Kind of.
Like Sambo? Like kind of?
Yeah, exactly.
Good God.
And Slick pointed that out, the Doctor of Style. How he's like, I wasn't a fan of the fact they had to call her Sapphire of all things.
Did Dusty know about this?
I'm pretty sure Dusty was probably the one who petitioned for it.
Wow.
Literally, if you go back and watch the Pile Driver music video VHS, you will see Slick introducing his Jive Soul Bro music video while eating an entire bucket of KFC and saying,
calling it Yardbird.
Man, why won't y'all let me eat my Yardbird in peace?
Wow, that's
WWE for you, folks.
I don't even know where to continue from that. I'm
glad I'm not the only one that owns the VHS Pile Driver.
Hey, what can I say? I love girls in cars. What can I say?
That's amazing. It's probably a good thing Jason's not on this podcast tonight.
Stand back.
All right. Jay, I'm sorry if you're listening to this, buddy. No, but anyways, we had the main the main Team SmackDown versus Team Raw match, the men's elimination thing, and God, I don't even remember who the last guys were. Was it Ambrose who or no? It was Randy and Bray who were the last two.
Well, Shane almost killed himself, and
yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Shane McMahon got he clearly got a concussion. Like there's no way he wasn't.
A couple.
Yeah, there's no way he didn't get a concussion.
He's a really good seller.
I gotta disagree, man, because
he didn't know where he was.
Yeah, if you go back and look at it, I mean, clearly Shane was going to get pinned, but the ref had to kind of call an audible because Shane's shoulder was up because he was knocked out.
That was uncomfortable to watch.
You know what? I don't know about that.
He didn't give the 3 count because his shoulder was up.
I don't know that he was going to get pinned.
Oh, come on. After a move like that, he's going to kick out of that and completely kill Roman Reigns?
I don't think when Ambrose came out, I don't think that was planned. I think Ambrose came out to tell them what was going on with the rest of the match. I know the refs got an earpiece in and everything, but there was a lot of people to tell. You know?
I mean, I clearly heard Shane calling a few spots right there. Like I remember when he was like wrestling with Jericho, I clearly heard him say, small package.
And hold on. I got You don't think Shane McMahon could kick out of a spear from Roman Reigns? Did you see Shane bounce off of a plexiglass 3 times before landing on his head, breaking his pelvis?
Yeah, but I also saw him land on a crash pad at WrestleMania this year.
That's true.
I mean,
he's like 102.
That's kind of beside the point, though. I mean, that was kind of a reckless spot there, and he clearly hit his head on the mat. I mean, he was knocked out.
I think he should stop wrestling. He should stop wrestling in front of his kids. And Randy Orton walked over to one of them and said something.
Daddy's gonna be okay.
Yeah, which is like, how do you know?
He's still moving.
You're gonna shit in my bag, Orton.
No. Actually, Randy and his wife welcomed
a
child today, so I'm thinking somebody's going to be finding some poopy diapers.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. RKO Junior BM.
RK Odor out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, I doubt that's what young Declan McMahon said to Randy as he told him.
That's what I heard. That's what I read on Wikipedia. It's a very reliable source.
Well, then it must be true. But no. I mean, I thought that was, it was definitely, you could tell, Randy went over to Declan, to try and like reassure him, that his dad's going to be okay. So then, at least, I mean, that was kind of classy of him, at least to break character for a little bit there.
Even though he's a heel right now with Bray Wyatt, and he's supposed to be a convincing heel that we believe is brainwashed by the Wyatt family, or what the hell is going on? Why is Randy Orton now part of the Wyatt family? It's like really happening, not an angle. Was going to turn on him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know.
That's what I expected. I expected it to end with him RKOing Bray Wyatt, and it was like, nope. All right, they're a thing now. Luke Harper appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, none of that really makes sense.
I honestly expected Braun to go over for some twisted reason. I don't know. It seems
James Ellsworth had other plans. He held his legs.
It just seems like a McMahon.
That was pretty great, though. That was a pretty genius way to get Braun out of the match, still make him look strong.
And then he beat the shit out of Ellsworth by throwing him off the ramp.
Yeah, that was a wicked bump.
That was right after the Shane one. It was like, come on, guys, like take it easy. I feel like you're killing yourselves for our.
Start calling him Spike Ellsworth.
Yeah, man. He's Mikey Whipwreck.
I tell you, man. Shane looked good in the ring up until that spear spot. I mean, he did the dive and everything, and. I don't know what his plan on. I mean, the coast to coast. I thought something looked a little fishy about that, even setting up because there was no.
Why did AJ Styles should have been the sole survivor? Like, what the hell? He was the captain. They keep having that was my beef. Was all the captains got pinned, except for Charlotte, I believe. And then the whole shit with Nikki, who was the captain. It was like being the team captain didn't mean shit. Like Natalya just got thrown into it.
I'll tell you what I would have liked to be a little bit more clearly defined is like what is, because obviously the big feud is, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. It's Raw versus SmackDown. They've been shoving that down our throats for the last month or so, and I get that they wanted to force like the competition end of it, but it's like what it would have been nice if there was like some stakes involved in it besides just bragging rights,
like the old brand split.
And who won? Was there a winner? It's like 2-1 Raw versus SmackDown, but SmackDown won the last match.
I guess if we're talking in that terms, then I guess Raw would have won.
Right.
But again, it's just like if they had like something on the line, like okay, like you get like everyone gets like a bonus check or something, or like you get a draft pick, or you get a championship. Exclusively, something over the other. I thought that was kind of a missed opportunity there.
No one remembers any of the winners of these bragging right tournaments and shit. It's always been SmackDown. SmackDown always wins against Raw because Vince thinks it's like a huge swerve to have like Raw clearly dominate and then lose. It's always the same pattern.
Yeah.
It also kind of makes it harder to boo like Baron Corbin's character because it's like his whole thing is like. I don't really give a shit about the rivalry between Raw and SmackDown. I just want a place to work.
He's a whole thing. Yeah, he doesn't want to be in the Wyatt family. He doesn't want to be with anyone.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like yeah, why should we care about Team Raw versus SmackDown? I'm surprised no one else like Ambrose or something. It's like wait a minute, we don't really care about your little bragging rights between Shane and Stephanie. Like what's in it for us?
Yeah, the worst to me is seeing Bray Wyatt in a blue SmackDown shirt. Man, there's something about that doesn't seem very like he doesn't feel like he'd be a team player. Like yeah, guys, Team SmackDown all the way.
Right. Exactly. So, I mean,
Very
but
bizarre.
besides that,
Faces and heels team up all night and just acting like they're not going to get along. Like 3 matches of that. It was just constant tension. I don't know.
It was a little bit much, but going on to the main event, which I know we've all been waiting to talk about.
Oh boy.
People, yeah. I'm just going to start with you, Jeremy. What did you think about all this?
Dude, I've been waiting for a good match between Brock and Goldberg for 12 years now. And the first one was bad enough, not even being able to watch Stone Cold save the match, because not even Stone Cold could save the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was just hoping to see Goldberg take one suplex before the squash match ensued. And they couldn't even give him one suplex. It was just, you know, I'm glad Brock must see some money in it or something, and I'm glad there might be another match, but I just don't see how you can go from straight... I don't know where you can go from that kind of squash match. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if they do the match again, so what? The match is going to last twice as long, and Brock's going to get a move in and then get squashed. I don't see where it goes from here.
The next time Brock is going to squash him in 2 minutes, and it's going to be a huge shock.
Oh my
God!
But then what's that? Another build-up, another semi-awesome build-up for another fucking for another squash match. And it's just, I don't know, man. But I'm a huge Brock fan, and I would have liked to see. I just would have liked to see it go the other way. But at the same time, I'm very happy that Brock did not kill Goldberg in front of his kid. I was very concerned leading up to the match that, you know, Brock does Brock's thing, and Brock doesn't always hold back. Ask Randy. But
thought they were just gonna just shoot on each other the whole time.
Well, I thought Brock was gonna shoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought Goldberg would have played along fine, but I thought at some point Brock would have just been like, you know, I'm Brock. I'm going over. I'm winning.
I'm surprised neither of them went for that. Brian, your thoughts on this?
Brock did not get to throw any of his famous elbows that, you know, bust you open like he did to Orton and Cena.
Awesome.
And whoever else. Taker.
Awesome.
But you would have told me Survivor Series was going to end with Goldberg and a shirtless child in the ring.
Yeah.
I would have said you're crazy.
Yeah.
Because no one
that I didn't.
I know it was his son, but it was like, why did he take his shirt off? It was a little disturbing.
It's kind of like
mildly disturbing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe he just like kind of wanted to kind of flex and be like his dad for a little bit, but I mean, look, he's 10 years old. You know,
it's just strange.
But pecking order now. I mean, so now, like by way of pecking order, Goldberg's over Undertaker.
I don't know. Cory,
that's the next match, I believe. Is Goldberg.
Oh God.
So I'm telling you, streak versus streak.
Cory, what are your thoughts on this? And actually, before we go into that, I just want to say the match, the length of that match, 1 minute and 26 seconds. The Team SmackDown versus Team Raw match before that was 52 minutes and 55 seconds.
You know how long Goldberg's walk-in was?
Longer than the actual match. I'll tell you that.
Minute and 23 seconds.
Oh wow.
Almost longer than the match. Anyway,
Cory, I know you've been chomping at the bit to get in your 2 cents about this one. I know you've got some really strong feelings about this. Go for it.
All right. So, like you said, the match before this, 50-something minutes. I made my point about the pacing of the show was the drizzling shits. We should have saw something in there instead of a 50-something minute long tag team match. Lesnar and Goldberg. Okay, I get it. It was a shocking thing to do. Bill Goldberg, you're not going to be able to get 10 minutes out of him in 1998. So clearly you're not going to be able to get 10 minutes out of him at 50 years old in 2016. Okay, I get all that. Protect Goldberg. That's his bread and butter. Let him do his shtick. Get out of there. But, as you guys touched on, he went out and did that at the expense of the guy who has spent the last 4 years literally beating the stuffing out of everybody in the company. He went over Taker. He went over Cena. He went over Orton. He went over Rollins. He went over Reigns. He went over Ambrose. All of those guys who were all the top guys in that company have all had their ass kicked by Brock Lesnar. They've spent 4 years building up Frankenstein, this big monster, and we're just to believe that old random dude comes out of nowhere and hits 2 spears and a jackhammer and wins. Not a big fan. Not a big fan.
Bad. Yeah.
On top of that, okay, Roman Reigns hit his big spear and knocked out Shane McMahon. Fantastic. Go back and watch Survivor Series and tell me how many spears you see across the whole card. What the hell ever happened to protecting somebody's finish? If you're going to put over Bill Goldberg this heavy over the biggest, baddest final boss that WWE has, could you at least not kill his finisher off for 2.5 hours before that, maybe? Just a little nitpick there.
Rhino doing the gore, and they show Edge doing the spear, Roman Reigns doing the spear. Everybody's doing his spear. Why didn't I just do that to Brock? And I'm going to beat him in 2 seconds.
That's all it takes. I mean, geez, Roman Reigns is like 30, 35, and a 50-year-old.
To their credit, it does look like it.
Yep.
That's the type of match I would have in the video game if I started with infinite finishers and went to beat Brock. That's exactly what it would look like. And they kept saying, fantasy warfare come to life. Well, that's pretty much what it looks like in the game. That's how quick of a match you can have. It doesn't make it right.
And hey, you know what? I get it. Like I said, Goldberg wasn't going to go out there and put on some kind of friggin' clinic. But you could have made that match go maybe 5 minutes, made it be a little bit competitive, have Lesnar come out there and dominate like he does everybody else, still look strong, and then just out of nowhere, Goldberg pops up whenever Lesnar gets cocky and nails him. But no.
Well, what do you most remember about their last match 12 years ago?
Steve Austin.
It sucked.
That the crowd shit on it the entire time. And
Brock shit on it.
They were in Toronto, so the longer the match would have gone, you don't think it would have been the same shit? Like the audience just going into business for themselves, counting 10 every time the referee counts 10.
Absolutely, but
rowdy dicks in Canada.
Absolutely, but a minute and 25 seconds. I think you could. I mean, they could have extended that, given Brock Lesnar, I don't know, a couple clotheslines, suplex, maybe even an F5. Hell,
they made it like the old Mike Tyson fights where you watch the whole night pay-per-view, and then you see him knock a dude out in 30 seconds, and you're like,
it's funny you mention that, Brian, because back in 1995, whenever Mike Tyson got released from prison, I was one of those poor bastards who shelled out my allowance to see him take on Peter Hurricane McNeely. Now, granted, this is Mike Tyson versus a tomato can, sure, but I spent $60 in 1995 money on hopefully seeing at least 3 rounds of Tyson playing cat and mouse.
Right.
Imagine, now, mind you, all of us paid $9.99 to see this. What about the people in Toronto who shelled out a couple $100 to get 4 seats?
They're pissed.
By the way, I begrudgingly paid $9.99 for this. I wish I could have paid a lower amount.
And you know what? Hey, I get it. Goldberg has been over. You know, everybody's calling for it. I get it. I'm all for it. But I don't really agree with the execution of this. However, I can go ahead and pretty much play Miss Cleo here and tell you how this is going to play out. As we heard on Monday, Goldberg is in the Royal Rumble. And
he sure is.
The whole
the late great Miss Cleo, by the way.
That's right. R.I.P.
Great.
Whatever. She ripped me off for a lot of money. So.
The whole promo.
Great is a little bit strong to describe Miss Cleo, but I
digress. How dare you?
The whole promo that Goldberg had was predicated on a title run. And his opportunity is in the Royal Rumble. Great, makes sense. Let's get it over. We got a big stadium in San Antonio that we couldn't fill in 1997, so let's go back and try to do it again. Sure, why not?
HBK.
Okay. So here's what's going to happen. Goldberg's going to be in the match. We're not going to see from Brock Lesnar until January. It's not going to happen. He's not going to be on TV. You could maybe do one of those if they do like the Beast in the East special again. Okay. We are not going to see Brock Lesnar address Goldberg, period. He's going to come out in the Royal Rumble, most likely unannounced, as a non-participant. He's going to show up and he's going to lay waste to Goldberg, because that now is the one and only way that they're going to be able to make this rematch make sense. Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar twice. In kayfabe, why the hell would he fight him again?
Are you
There's
saying
no
Brock
reason.
Lesnar is going to throw Goldberg out of the Royal Rumble or get him out of somehow cost him?
Paul Heyman's just going to insult Goldberg's kid or something like that enough to talk him into freaking fighting.
I don't see that. I don't see that. He already beat him. I mean, words mean nothing at this point. They
in
completely
2004, that's how they set up the match in 2004, was the Royal Rumble spot where Brock Lesnar.
They're going to do it again.
Yeah.
Right. It's like history repeats itself, and then WrestleMania, much bigger stage than Survivor Series for a match like that.
Yep. I think Goldberg goes in the Hall of Fame.
But they found a way to make Goldberg as important as Brock, because you can't be like, who's Goldberg? He's the guy that just beat Brock Lesnar in a minute.
Apparently Goldberg is the final boss of WWE now, because he just made Brock Lesnar look like
that should be the last match of the night, but it probably won't be.
Yeah, no, Cory, I couldn't have said it better than you did, honestly. I definitely think that would be the smart booking decision if they are going to go with Goldberg versus Brock again, to do it that way. During the Rumble, I could definitely see that happening. I just want to go on and for the record say that despite what everyone thinks about Goldberg and his in-ring work and his personality, I really like Goldberg as a character. And I don't know if anybody else feels the way I do, but I mean, I guess...
What is it?
I was just about to ask that question, Brian. What is Goldberg's character?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well, I mean, I liken it to probably the same reason that a lot of kids liked, and I'm not picking on you, Brian. I'm just saying a lot of kids liked The Ultimate Warrior when he came out.
Why would you be picking on me? How is that an insult, sir? What about being a Hulkamaniac? It's the same shit.
Even worse.
The wholesome, you take your vitamins, eat your prayers, and...
Right. Well, I mean, I'm saying Goldberg was always a larger-than-life character. He just had a presence about him. He had everything from the entrance. I mean, with standing in the pyro, just the facial expression.
His character is, he's a dude who comes out, all that, and beats you with 2 moves.
Yeah.
That's all he needs.
And
it's badass for a while.
He's also
cool.
He's a headliner that also has the worst dressing room position in the history of wrestling, which drives me nuts every time. Put his dressing room near the entrance.
He's always taking a shit, and he's always jerking off before match. They gotta knock on the door, let him know. Hey, Goldberg, you're on. All right, I got my whitey's on.
Right, yeah, well, he's probably pissed because maybe Orton shat in his bag or something. But my point is that his whole presentation and his intensity in the ring. Granted, he was probably stiffing the crap out of a lot of the guys he was working with, but he just looked convincing. Here's one
guy he stiffed the crap out of. Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah. Thanks, Goldberg. Thanks for that one, buddy.
I kind of have a little thing against Goldberg. It might not even be like...
As do I.
Psychological. When I see Goldberg, I'm mad, and I don't know why. I'm like, I don't care. It's cool to see Goldberg.
To be honest, man...
He kicked Bret Hart's fucking head off.
Well... To be honest, and I can't really put it any more plainly than this, I fucking hate Goldberg. I hate his promos. Brock Lesnar challenged me to a fight. He sounds so...
your next is coming. It's very predictable. And if you're a child, if you're a kid, love it.
I don't really have an issue with his promos. I just think, I mean, obviously I've heard enough about how he is as a guy. I don't know if he's necessarily a bad guy, but he just seems like like one of these really cocky jock
with wrestling,
alpha males.
You can separate the two between being a dickhead like CM Punk is. I imagine an asshole in real life. For most people that have met him, would probably say like he's a fucking punk rocker dude, straight edge, fucking get away from me type of guy.
No,
but he's a good wrestler. So it's like I never looked at CM Punk as who he was in real life.
I'm just saying from what I've been able to gather from him, I don't think he's a bad dude necessarily, but he just comes off as just one of these, cocky, I want to be alpha males, wants to kick everyone's ass and everything, and it's like, dude, it's a work, like it's entertainment, and it's just like stuff like that was like why he refused a job to Jericho back in WCW, and just all that other just nonsense that he was involved in.
For not doing very much at all. He
Yeah,
is very
right.
more over than him.
Right. But I mean, again, that was my whole point. I do like him as a character. I like, just the presentation at least. I definitely agree with Cory that him beating beating a legit UFC guy who they've built up as being the most dominant dude, on the planet in the last couple of years. I don't think it was right for him to go over.
What did for the last 12 years. What Brock did versus what Goldberg did. Brock went to UFC, and won. Even recently, like a few months ago.
Yeah.
Like he won that match. And Goldberg, where the fuck has he been? What's he been doing? He's been like hosting muscle car shows and shit. And like
on a muscle car show or two.
Goldberg's whole character this whole time that he's been back has been Angry Dad. We just saw Angry Dad beat Brock fucking Lesnar. Why?
Right.
Why?
So he can bring his shirtless child in the ring and celebrate. Damn it.
The next move is Vince is going to come out and fucking squash Goldberg clean.
Stand back in his underwear.
Reestablish himself as boss.
I'm the biggest angry dad here, damn it. I'm angry grandpa.
They didn't want to see naked Enzo Amore on Raw last night.
Yeah, just I haven't even seen all of Raw yet, but I'm just like, why is this? Why is this on TV?
He's standing in front of Lana, and then Rusev says, "Look, you have a huge problem." He's like, "I wouldn't call it a problem."
I wouldn't call it a problem.
That was pretty funny, actually.
How you doing? Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty funny, but it's just one of those things. It's like, okay, that's not really PG anymore, I guess. That's kind of
push the limit a little bit, push the envelope.
A little inconsistent,
it's slowly
but okay.
moving out, man. It's slowly moving out.
I guess so.
They realize their fans are older, man. Why else would they rely on Brock and Goldberg still? Like, come on, guys, order this $60 pay-per-view, whatever the fuck it would have been if you ordered it. Can you still even order it off the network? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much does it cost?
It's 59 something.
See? They'll get $60 out of meatheads who are like, I remember Goldberg. Remember Brock? Remember Goldberg?
No, I remember.
Remember them?
Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many people I run into who'll be like, hey, man, Goldberg's back. And, I mean, meanwhile, they don't really give a shit about NXT.
Can't we hear
stuff like that?
Like Paul London's back or somebody.
They thought was going to happen. Like, Goldberg wins in a minute and a half. That's what always happens. 98, when they remember Goldberg. And that's me. That's people my age.
Still.
I know, and I get it from that perspective. Obviously, you want to draw in those casual fans back in. It's just, again, long-term planning. It's like, where they go from here. Like, who does that really help? I don't know. I think it seemed like another just hot shot decision.
Well, yeah,
definitely. Shocking people for the sake of shocking people, and I don't think they really thought this one through. But anyways, I mean, that's pretty much, there's pretty much nothing more we can say about NXT and Survivor Series, NXT Takeover Toronto, I should say, and Survivor Series of this year. It's in the books. It's done. We're moving on to December. The Royal Rumble is probably the next time we'll all get together. Those of you listening, let us know what you thought of Survivor Series and NXT Takeover Toronto. Before we wrap up, Jeremy, where can we find more info about your business and anything else you want to plug?
Just type in Generation Food Truck into Google and all of our lovely stuff should pop up. You can look us up on Guinness Book of World Records, Facebook, Twitter, just anywhere, man. Type in food truck, we'll pop up.
Definitely, man. You are like the king of food trucks in Tampa Bay right now. You're just on top of things.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Brian, I know that you're on at Brian Brycon 27 on Twitter. I know you've kind of gone social media dark recently on Facebook.
Yeah, man. I really have nothing to say about it. Just trying to avoid constant nonsense.
Sick of election coverage.
Oh wait, there was an election recently?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard.
Who won?
I found out it was real.
WWE Hall of Famer.
Oh wait. Oh boy. Yeah, because that's
exactly Hall of Famer. Oh, was it Pete Rose?
Because politics is exactly what I want to get into on my podcast.
Well,
let's bring that up.
Our president messed up Vince's hair. Who
sure did.
Who else can say that? Well,
with
Trish Stratus.
with the TNA champion.
That's true. That's true. Wow. Oh,
I'm not going to say he was responsible for Umaga's death, but
oh my God.
no, too soon.
Just stop.
Yeah. Yeah, way too soon.
Yeah.
Cory, you're at chronocord.com, at chronocord on Twitter. What else is going on in the world of chronocord these days?
Oh, man, you gave it away. I was going to take Brian's usual stick and say, don't find me. I don't want to talk to any of you. But since you gave it away, chronocord.com, we got our second album dropping very, very soon. Licensing, video production, graphic design, anything you need multimedia-wise, hit me up. Or don't, because I really don't care.
Wow, you're a born salesman, for sure. Anyways, that's it. You can always follow me on Twitter at jackxconnor, facebook.com/jackconnormusic, vertebreaker.net. Check out my band. It's what I do when I'm not geeking out over wrestling stuff.
I heard of those
Thank
guys.
you guys. Say what?
I heard of those guys.
Yeah, their singer's kind of a dick.
I'm actually looking at a flyer with both of our names on a show we did together. It's up on my wall right here.
Yeah, man.
How big is Batista's dick?
I don't know.
We will never find out.
I mean, and maybe Mickey knows. I don't know, but it's
Hey-oh! Ask Melina.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh gosh. Interesting stories.
Oh God, I'm gonna get in trouble for that one. Anyways, yeah, follow. Definitely, thank you guys for listening. What did you think about it? Leave a comment, subscribe, go back and listen to all the other episodes. Follow us on social media, all that. Use the hashtag Phoenix Report if you'd like, and let us know what you thought. In the meantime, for Jeremy, for Brian, for Cory, I am Jack Connor. This is the Phoenix Report. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye. There you go.